look in the fridge. Let's get an update. We're in the middle of March. So the refrigerator is pretty empty / pretty full at the same time. So it's either some condiments that stay in here all the time, or it's filled with a lot of meal prep meals. I just want to apologize in advance. I did not clean my fridge. See, I noticed this. I'm going to notice how dirty it is, and I really shouldn't be doing this today because I don't have time to clean the fridge. But I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just want to show you pretty much what's in here. I'll start on this door on the left. I have some chocolate from Trader Joe's. I don't know how old this is. I always keep a couple in the pantry, and then as I open them or break them, I put them here, and I just keep them here until I use them. I don't worry about expiration dates. This was one of those things that I had bought on clearance a long time ago for $1.50, and I used probably a piece of it, and then it just went in there. This shelf, I have pectin. Now, I had a few things of pectin in here last year. These are new ones. I go through them, but I always try to keep some. As I use them, I replace them. This is some almond extract. It probably doesn't have to be in the fridge, but it just is. And then on this shelf, I have some coffee creamers and some flax oil. This is something I always like to have on hand. It takes me a really long time to go through it, but I like to put it on top of salads, chia bowls, even overnight oats or smoothies. This creamer, I do not like. I got it hoping that I would like it in place of nut pods, but it's sweet. And I either like my coffee really sweet with the bad stuff, like Coffee Mate, but I like real heavy cream and Coffee Mate, or I like nut pods and no sugar. So I do not care for that, but I do have it for when we have company over. I have some milk hazelnuts, and then coconut and almond creamer. I'm not wild about it. And this door, I'll start on the bottom shelf. I have coconut amino, balsamic vinaigrette, barbecue sauce, soy sauce, fermented chili paste, whole grain mustard, stuff like that on the bottom shelf. This shelf, these are some protein balls that I had made for the week. And this is the maple butter that I've had since last year that I just cannot seem to use it. So I need to put this on my list and get rid of that soon. Here is a sourdough starter that I've never done, but it's not dead. Even though it looks really gross, it's just sitting in here kind of as a backup, and I may take it out and bring it back to life to show you how it can be done. This is the Buddha hand that I preserved last year, and then the video got messed up, so I was never able to show it, but it was one of the first things that I preserved in the Pantry Challenge last year. My husband uses that occasionally when he has an old-fashioned, or when we're not feeling well, I put that in some cough syrup. And then on this shelf, I just have mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, a few dates, some tomato paste, anchovy paste, tart cherry juice. I do have that occasionally before bed. Okay, I've touched the tomato paste, and now I need to wash my hands. All right, moving on, we're just gonna start at the top left. I have a couple of Premier Protein drinks. Coconut Cult, this is the original and the strawberry. I like the strawberry, I do not like the original. I'll have to mix it with something else. The pool house fridge is where we keep all of our drinks, but every now and then I'll move some from there into here. And I have a couple of these acai berry Amazon energy drinks. I have a couple of sparkling waters back there. And then I have the sipping creams, or the Old Smoky cherries that I have that I usually use for cooking. Strawberry sea moss, better than bouillon chicken, 3 containers of pomegranate juice that I've yet to do anything with, and a coconut water in the back. And then on this shelf, I have some meals. I'll take these out in a minute and show you what we have in the fridge right now. But in the back, I have some cheese, 1 can of biscuits, and then this is some chocolate glaze that I had made because I had another can of biscuits and I used them to make donuts, and then I made the chocolate glaze, and this is what was left. So I put it in the fridge for another day when we want donuts. I just fry them in coconut oil, and then I cover them in this chocolate frosting, and then we have chocolate donuts. A few things back there, some cheese, some sour cream. And then on the bottom shelf, sun-dried tomatoes. Now, I got this a long time ago because I heard it was really good on a sandwich. We never use it because it's not spicy. It just tastes like raspberry jam to me, but I need to use that up. Here's some homemade strawberry jam. It might be grape. No, it's strawberry. I have homemade strawberry, homemade grape, and homemade blueberry lemon, so I don't ever know which one's out from time to time. There's some chow chow, some fermented jalapenos, some fermented pickles. I forget the name of this sauce, but this is the sauce that you make to put on top of a beef steak, so I'll have to look it up. But this is extra from something that I made a long time ago, and it needs to be used up. Some homemade pickles, fermented habanero peppers, and this is some fresh whey from raw milk from making yogurt. On the first shelf to the right, I have some chia seed pudding. This is a tiramisu chia seed pudding. Here's some more. I'm gonna go ahead and just take all the food out. Well, I'll have to take it out with 2 hands. All right, I paused the camera for just a minute. I went ahead and pulled all the meal prep food out of the fridge to give you a better view of what the fridge actually looks like or how empty it is at this time. I guess I could pull this out too. Okay, so back to the top right shelf. I do have chia seed pudding. Right here I have dates that are soaking in almond milk. I like to have dates soaking all the time for smoothies and for other things, so they're already soft and ready to go. Sometimes I'll blend these up and I'll use these as a base for chia seed pudding or overnight oats. Maple syrup from Ohio. This is the one that I have open right now. I have a little bit of spice chai black tea concentrate from Trader Joe's left, and then Purely Elizabeth ancient grain pancake mix. I have 2 of those, some grits, this back, and then some nuts. Right now in the fridge I have almonds, pine nuts, walnuts. I just finished up some pecans, and then but as I use them I'll pull some out of the freezer to replace them. And then this is sourdough discard. And then on this shelf, I have Better Than Bouillon beef base. And then on the last shelf, I have some sauerkraut. Now this is my favorite sauerkraut, and I like to use purple cabbage mixed with apple. I think I may have showed that in a video last year. Here is the little bit of milk that we have left. I'm going to pick up milk today. This is a ½ gallon, and we get 2 gallons of raw milk a week. So if I have room, sometimes they'll all go in here, or sometimes one will go in here and the other 3 will go in the other fridge that I keep drinks in. This is an almond and oat milk alternative that I had picked up instead of nut pods, and it tastes like water. Here's some Oatly. If I'm being lazy and I haven't had time to make fresh oat milk, this is my go-to. Even though it's not good for you, that's my go-to oat milk. And then this is a maple syrup from Costco that I've been having in here that needs to be used up, and some Parmesan cheese. Now let's move on to the drawers. In the front, I have a couple of lemons that's been cut up, slice of ham that's left. I pull out ham from the freezer, purple onion or a red onion. And then in here, I try to keep stuff that needs to be used up, but it's not actually meals. So in this container, I have some butter and some cream cheese. And then in this container, I have some onions and peppers. And I would just consider that as a meal helper, or a meal helper or a meal starter. Sun-dried goji berries, poppy seeds, some yeast, and some stone ground grits. Moving on, here's some Texas toast that I had in the freezer, and I just pulled that out a couple days ago and put it in the fridge so we can go through that. I just have different kinds of cheeses in here, a little bit of butter, another lemon, a couple of carrots, and then in the bottom I have some organic hemp hearts that I pulled out of the freezer, and then I also have this that I pulled out of the freezer. Almond flour tortillas, Trader Joe's, English muffins, and Quarter Balance. And then I have some, looks like I have some wine in here, some more Better Than Bouillon. This one is a vegetable base. I'm gonna put that up here so I'll see it. And then some more cheese. Move that up here. This has been in here since last year. I'm not a big blue cheese person, but I keep it in case we have someone over that really, I don't know why this drawer's not wanting to come out all the way. Maybe Maybe that's all it comes out. Okay, in here I have some boysen cheese, some Havarti cheese. I always try to have cheeses that I pull out of the freezer. Now in these brown bags, I have apples. These are different varieties of apples that I've had in here since we've taken our trip to New England. I hear that they stay good for a really long time, but the reason they're in here is because I had wanted to do a taste test when I have my whole family over of the different varieties that are uncommon, that we don't usually find in the grocery store. And I wanted to do a taste test. Well, the last couple of times we were all together, we didn't do it, and I still would like to do it if the apples are still good. That's why they're still in here. Now this, I have no idea if this is gonna be good or not. It's still hard. This is an avocado that I had frozen whole. I've frozen avocados before, but I've not frozen them whole in the peelings. I'm curious to see how they hold up, because that might be a game changer if I can freeze avocados if I ever get them on sale, because now, as you know, avocados are outrageously expensive. So yeah, it's pretty empty, but at the same time, it stays pretty full because we're constantly putting food in there that we could just grab and go. I'm gonna turn the phone around and show you some of the things that we have in the fridge that I need to actually get back in the fridge. But since it's only 3 of us this year, I'm cooking differently. I'm trying to cook smaller portions. Whenever the family was bigger, we'd eat on it one night, the next day we'd have lunch, and if there was anything left, it would go in the freezer. Well, now I think we're never gonna get to it if we put it in the freezer. So now I'm trying to do things differently, and I'm trying to just pull a few things out of the freezer, meal prep, and put it together in individual to-go containers so we could just grab and go. And then if we do have leftovers, like this happens to be leftovers, and we had beef roast and runner beans from the garden. So we're actually gonna have this today, and we'll just have this with rice. Here's some salmon and some baked sweet potatoes. Now this is a variety of Japanese potatoes, Louisiana Cajun yams, and a good purple sweet potato. This was potatoes and sausage, arugula, and carrots. This is baked sweet potatoes with pulled pork, red onion, and topped with cheese. This is some of the protein balls that I made this week. These were made with nut butter, protein powder, and oats. This is chicken and broccoli. And then we have stuffed squash, and then this is stuffed spaghetti squash, and this one actually had a red sauce. This one did not have a sauce. And then we have a few salads. I had picked these bowls up at Costco, and I really like them. You put the dressing in the middle, the toppings in this little container, and then you put the mixture of the salad at the bottom. And these all have salmon in them. The avocado that I'm using is avocado that had previously been frozen, and it had been made into guacamole. But as I pull it out of the freezer and as I put it in the containers, it looks really bad. And so if I were to see guacamole like this, I wouldn't want to eat it, but it still tastes fine. So once you mix it in with the black beans and the salsa and everything else, then you don't really notice and you still get that flavor. But it's one of the reasons why I would like to test and see how this previously frozen avocado turns out. If it holds up better and it does not brown, that's why that might be a game changer. All right, friends, now you have a look at what we're eating for the week. This is just grab and go, easy for us. And here's a look at the fridge. And it's full as well. I'm not gonna take the time to go through all of this just yet.